Hey everybody, welcome to another comic book review. In this video, I'll be talking about The Incal by Alejandro Jodorowsky and Mœbius. The Incal is one of the most highly acclaimed sci-fi comics of all time. And it's one that I finally got around to reading, and I can totally see why people love it as much as they do. I thought it was pretty great. I don't think it's perfect, but it's very close. I think it's pretty awesome. Um, it follows the story of John DeFool, who is a Class R detective, and he basically starts off the story getting thrown off of a giant bridge because people are after him, because he is supposedly in possession of this new um, sort of artifact, and he's trying to figure out what it is. It's called the Incal, and it's supposed to hold like immense amounts of power. And so everybody's after John, and he meets up with some people that start out as his enemies and then become his friends once they realize what the Incal is capable of. And then it becomes something totally different whenever it shifts into like kind of like a political thriller. And then it goes back to just crazy visual spectacle, like sci-fi fantasy stuff. And then when you throw in a new cast of characters, you get a whole new different elements of the story, and things just evolve and keep building and building and building and getting more and more crazy. And it is absolutely a trip. I thought it was great. And the ending of it is very cool because it kind of brings things around full circle. And I'm not going to spoil anything, of course, but that's basically the basic plot of the Incal. And there's a whole lot more to it as well, but that covers the basics. Starting off, I want to talk about the art. Mœbius is a genius. The things that he is able to draw and the structures that he's able to create, his imagination is so influential in terms of science fiction and like just character designs, creature designs. The architecture that is present here is beautiful to look at, and everything just feels so huge in his drawings. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Jeff Darrow's art style, a little bit, especially when it comes to how he draws sci-fi stories. But yeah, Mœbius just blew me away with his art here, because it's cartoony enough when it comes to drawing the characters, but then when it gets into drawing like architecture and scenery, it's insane. This guy, his mind is like perfect for just like he has the best imagination when it comes to visual art. Like in this story, his imagination is just crazy. Very cool. Jodorowsky, on the other hand, is somebody that I have admired for quite a long time. He's the writer of this book. This man, I tell you what, he is an artist of the highest form in any form of art that he's ever explored. He was a filmmaker, and all the movies I've seen from him are just unbelievably good. Very imaginative, just like his work in the Incal. All of his writing is just crazy cool. He was a mime for a period of time. I mean, this guy has done it all. And he has excelled. He's gone above and beyond in pretty much every form of art that he's ever explored. This guy's a total genius creatively, and I'm happy that I live in a world where his stuff exists, and where he's making art in multiple different forms. I think this guy's great, and he doesn't disappoint in the Incal. Now, as far as issues I have with this, I don't have a whole lot. I think the pacing is really well done, but because the story itself is so complex and so multifaceted and multi-layered, it's a lot to take in. And so it kind of feels like something I would want to read over again at some point, just to pick up on things that I missed out on, because there's so much. I mean, this thing is unbelievably dense when it comes to the concepts it tackles, and just throwing you into the midst of ideas and situations that are just larger than life. So it's not so much like a bad thing, but it's something that I would need to go back and reread in order to fully grasp it. And even then, I feel like I would have to reread it at least a few times in order to get everything, you know? Because there's just so much. Like, this book is incredibly dense. It's huge. And not talking about like the length of it, I just mean like the world and the concepts that are presented. And it's pretty dialogue heavy as well, but even the art just has so much information packed into each single panel. It's a lot to take in. It's one that I really had to think about, which is a good thing, but it's just, I would need to reread it a couple times to fully understand everything about it. But aside from that, I mean, I can totally see why this is so well loved as it is. I think this book is great, and I can't wait to read more of what Jodorowsky has written, because, I mean, if this is any indication of what he's capable of as a comics writer, I mean, he has impressed me so many times before with his movies, and if any of his other comics are like the Incal, I am all the more impressed with Alejandro Jodorowsky. And this book also introduced me to Mœbius as an artist as well, and I'm thoroughly impressed with his work now as well. And I want to read more of his work as well. So, as always, thank you for watching. Those are my thoughts on the Incal. Have a great day, and look forward to more videos in the future.